Hi, I'm Margaret. Hope you've had a good week. I'm ready for some chocolate. Are you? So there are a couple of specific things you'll need for this recipe, such as the silicone moulds, pictured here, and also plastic bowls to melt the chocolate in the microwave. It has to be plastic because any other material such as glass or ceramic will get far too hot and the temperature of the chocolate will rise higher than you want it to. If the temperature of the chocolate rises too high, it'll go out of temper and it won't set to make that lovely snap and shine that we get to know in regular chocolate. The stirring distributes the heat so that you don't get any hot spots. So the rule is 30 seconds in the microwave, take it out, stir it, 20 seconds in the microwave, stir again, and then keep putting it in for 10 seconds, then stir, 10 seconds and stir until you have almost melted the chocolate. Until it looks like this. You can see a few lumps, but most of the chocolate is melted. And then you just have to stir and stir and stir until it becomes beautifully smooth. If your moulds are quite intricate, like these stars and these hearts I have, you need to dribble the chocolate in quite carefully and quite slowly so that it goes into all the little gaps. You can find out more about tempering chocolate and why you don't have to do it here in the description below, along with the full recipe. Give it a bit of a shake to get rid of any air bubbles. Make sure it's right into the corners. And then just turn it over and let the excess chocolate drip out onto some baking paper. Do hang on to this excess chocolate. It'll be used later to make the bases of each individual chocolate. Smooth over with a knife to get good, clean edges. Then leave them to set upside down on some baking paper. And do the same with all the trays. Use milk or plain chocolate, depending on the filling that you're going to eventually be using. If you smooth over the excess chocolate, it'll be easier to chop up later when you want to melt it. When you're done, pop all the chocolate into the fridge for at least an hour to make sure it's properly set. Then you can make the fillings. A tablespoon of water starts the mint filling off, and once you've added the mint essence, it's just a matter of sieving enough icing sugar into the mixture to give the right consistency. The final mixture should be stiff enough to hold its own shape. Inspiration for the peanut butter filling came from Reese's peanut butter cups. I've used 4 heaped tablespoons of smooth peanut butter here, and I'm going to add just 1 teaspoon of butter. Microwave for just a couple of seconds, enough to melt the butter, and give it a good stir. Again, sieve in enough icing sugar to give it the right consistency. I think I could have added a little bit more icing sugar here, but the result was good, although it's a bit messy putting it into the shells. The chocolate orange filling starts with a ganache. You need to warm the cream just slightly in the microwave. Don't boil it. Pour it over the chocolate, leave it for a couple of seconds as the chocolate starts to melt, and stir it with a spoon. It becomes quite nice and glossy. Add the orange essence and taste it to make sure you've got the right flavour. This mixture is so runny, I found the tiniest teaspoon I could just to pour it into the chocolate moulds. The caramel is easiest of all. There are so many nice caramel sauces out there, it's almost not worth making your own. Just pop it into the shells and smooth it over. The final job is to chop up the excess chocolate. I mixed it all together, milk and plain. Melt it as before and pour a spoonful over each chocolate. Smooth over the tops, or the bottoms in this case, and then pop them into the fridge for another hour or so. When the chocolates have been in the fridge, just pop them out by pushing the silicone mould inside out, and they come out beautifully. You may need to trim a few edges to make them nice and neat. Do this with a sharp knife. And there we go. Delicious looking chocolates ready to eat. Can't resist. They are really nice just like this, but you can decorate them too, identify the different flavours with different colours. I've used the writing icing that you buy in supermarkets just to drizzle different patterns over the top of each one. You could also use melted chocolate for this if you wanted to. Whichever way you try them, I hope you enjoy them. Have a look in the description below where you'll find the link to my website. Here you'll find all my recipes with a link to each video and links to a PDF that you can print out and take into the kitchen when you do your baking. Have a good one. Catch you next week.